represent how much you're worth, as people. Woohoo! I'm number 1! I'm number 1! With 10 being the highest and 1 being the lowest.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 savage moments on Recess.
It's time to let him out, Miss Finster.
What do you say we give him an extra 2 minutes?
That's inhuman! You're a genius, Miss Finster.
For this list, we'll be looking at the most memorable times where characters on the show were absolutely brutal. Which Recess episode was your favorite? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Spinelli gets put on the hot seat. Recess never shied away from showing just how ruthless kids can be, especially when they think an injustice has been done. In the trial episode, Spinelli is accused of throwing a rock in a dirt clod war.
What kind of rotten evil kid would throw a rock in a dirt clod war?
Hey guys, what's going on? It was her. Spinelli did it. She threw the rock.
To the kids of the playground, this is considered the height of cowardly and unsportsmanlike behavior. This leaves Spinelli to be put on trial. While she sits in front of a jury of her peers, she gets roasted by her friend/prosecutor Gretchen during the opening statement.
Today I intend to prove, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that this violent and ill-tempered girl, sorry Spinelli, is guilty, guilty, guilty! Yeah!
Her fellow students also don't hold back their disapproval. It's clear the heat of the trial caused the comments to get a bit carried away.
The facts of the case are clear. Provoked or not, the defendant attacked my client and beat him with a rock. And your verdict must be as simple. Guilty, boys and girls. Guilty! Guilty!
Luckily, Spinelli endures the roasts until the kids figure out who was really responsible for the rock. Number 9. Miss Finster's new punishment. TJ Detweiler is a very resilient kid. But when Miss Finster contrives a cruel new punishment, we feared that his spirit would be broken. Instead of the typical detention, she forces TJ to stand in isolation within a chalk box on the playground where no one's allowed to get close to him.
Stay away! Anybody gets within 30 yards of this thing and you'll get detention for a week!
Oh, man.
Come, Randall, let's leave Mr. Detweiler alone with his thoughts.
The seemingly tame punishment breaks him, and he fully falls into a fearful trance. Miss Finster's delight at seeing him reduced to a sorry state shows how savage she was.
What do you say we give him an extra 2 minutes?
That's inhuman! You're a genius, Miss Finster.
In the end, the only way TJ can be cured of his fear is by getting sent back in the box and facing it head on. Miss Finster also ends up genuinely disappointed that her harsh punishment fell through.
You're supposed to be nothing but a blithering jello mold!
What, 'cause of that? I'd have to be nuts to be afraid of that. See ya.
But my box! My brainchild! It's ruined! Ruined!
Number 8. Gus becomes a tyrant. When Gus is given temporary leadership over the playground, the 4th grader is initially very scared of what lies ahead. But it's not long before he starts to take advantage of his new position.
Your Majesty, this kid refuses to pay the cookie tax.
What? I don't have any cookies. My mommy doesn't allow me to have sugary snacks.
I don't care about your mommy or anyone else. The law is 2 cookies from every kid.
At first, Gus is brutal towards anyone who fails to live up to his requests, but he soon becomes a tyrant that throws kids in jail for the slightest misdemeanor.
Are you contradicting me?
Oh, of course not, Your Majesty, no.
No one questions my authority. No one. My will be done. Now go. Go!
Gus, almighty Gus.
Not even the little ones or his close friends are safe from the wrath of King Gus. Given that he's normally a kind soul, it was surprising to see him become a power-hungry madman.
Gus, come down off of that throne. You're finished. Do you hear me? Finished. I am I? Take them. No prisoners.
It's easy to see why Gus is dropped back into obscurity as soon as the true king returns. Number 7. Gordy's feud with TJ. There comes a time in life when a person must learn that not everyone is gonna like you.
Too bad that TJ isn't here. He'd get quite a kick out of this.
Yeah, it's a real shame.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, let's just say TJ Detweiler isn't as popular as he thinks.
And that's okay. For someone like TJ though, this is a bitter pill to swallow. Gordy isn't shy about how much he dislikes the protagonist.
I don't like you either. You don't? No, I do not. Phew! Oh, what a relief. Now you don't have to invite me to your birthday party next year.
Everything gets worse when TJ tries his hardest to get his classmate on his side. During each of their interactions, Gordy's dislike only seems to grow, and his comments only get more brutal as the story goes on.
So I guess you probably, I don't know, like me now, huh?
Nope.
What? But why not? I demand an answer. You gotta tell me right now. Why? Why don't you like me?
No reason, I just don't.
But after TJ jumps through a lot of hoops to win him over, Gordy flat out rejects any chance of friendship.
Well, I hope you two troublemakers learned your lesson.
I sure did, Miss Finster.
Good.
Yep, no matter what you do, not everyone's gonna like you.
Blast you, Detweiler.
Seeing this minor character reject the hero was a good lesson that you can't win them all. Number 6, the way everyone treats Randall. Unlike TJ, Randall isn't the most likable kid on the playground.
Hey, TJ, I got a question for you. What's your favorite color?
Huh? What are you talking about?
I gotta pick a best friend for that stupid essay, and you're it. Well, even though we don't really like each other or anything.
Leave me alone, will you, Randall?
Yes, he's a teacher's pet who sneaks on everyone, crosses plenty of lines, and is generally a bit pathetic. That all leads to Randall being on the receiving end of some of the most savage putdowns in the show.
I got spinelli! I got spinelli! I'm gonna cream you, you little worm!
You hit Spinelli during a timeout? She was right. You are a worm.
But would it hurt the other kids to take pity on Randall once in a while? Maybe if he had some friends, he wouldn't spend as much time hanging around Miss Finster and getting people in trouble. While Randall's not a great person, the kid might be more bearable if people were a little less brutal to him on a regular basis.
Help me this once, and I promise not to snitch on any of you for a whole month! My uncle always says, deal with a weasel and you're gonna get scratched!
Yeah, no deal, weasel.
Number 5, TJ gets rich. After missing a few days of school, TJ returns to discover that Mon stickers have become the currency of the playground, and it's hard to get by without them.
Do mine eyes deceive me? The great TJ Detweiler down on his luck?
What do you want, Menlo?
Just passing by. It's a free country. Outside the playground, that is.
Brought low by his lack of stickers, he's forced to sell his trademark hat to Menlo while receiving harsh comments. TJ eventually works his way up with unsavory methods and becomes a powerful businessman.
They don't have stickers for balls. They don't have stickers to play on Old Rusty. They can't even sit on the grass. Everyone either works for you or just stands around and does nothing.
Good point. Gus, start charging kids for standing around.
Before long, he becomes an untouchable rich kid who's willing to throw money around just to make a savage statement. He even gets revenge on the kid who sold his hat in a rough scene.
Too much gadding about, eh? No matter. Let's see. You wearing the hat has certainly lowered its value, but I suppose I could part with one sticker.
One sticker?
Take it or leave it, cootie head. I'm a busy man.
The only thing that brings TJ down off his high horse is a major change in the playground economy. Number 4, Vince finds out that his brother is a geek. Vince LaSalle is one of the coolest kids in 3rd Street Elementary. And as far as everyone remembers, his big brother Chad is even cooler.
So Vince, what's Chad up to now?
Huh? You're all here to see Chad?
Yeah, you think he'd sign my shovel?
Tell us, Vince, is he still cute? We haven't seen him like forever.
Well, he's pretty much the same as always.
But when the two bros meet up at school, a shocking truth is revealed. Chad is kind of a geek. Not a single person on the playground holds back their disappointment.
He's nothing but a nerd. Oh, I'm so depressed.
Actually, when you think about it, it all makes sense. I mean, what self-respecting 5th grader would want to hang out with us when we were in kindergarten?
Although Vince attempts to block out all the criticism, the cruel comments from his classmates eventually get to him. The kid nearly loses his mind upon realizing Chad isn't the person who he thought he was. Fortunately, the eldest brother doesn't mind all of the criticisms hurled his way.
Leave those kids alone. And if you don't, you can just forget about me helping you with your math homework anymore.
In the end, Chad's pride in who he is leads Vince to think his sibling is just as great. Number 3, Spinelli calls Miss Grotke Mama. Calling a teacher mom is a uniquely embarrassing phenomenon.
Oh no! Look out! Mama!
But for Ashley Spinelli, it's on a whole other level. Spinelli's the tough kid who rarely lets herself be vulnerable. So when she calls Miss Grotke mom, it's the end of the world for her.
Yeah, Spinelli. Any kid could have made the same mistake. It's just really funny that it happened to you.
I don't need this. I'm going home for lunch.
Kids who are usually too intimidated to ever try and make fun of her can't let this one go. Even the adult staff at the school roasts her relentlessly for the slip of the tongue.
Just like Mama makes. Mama's girl. Mama's girl.
Called Miss Grokey Mama.
After enduring lots of torment, Spinelli is pretty much ready to transfer to another country entirely. It's not until her friends say the phrase publicly too that the spell is broken.
I agree, Mama.
Did you hear that? He called Miss Grokey Mama. Now he's a mama's boy.
Teacher, are you crazy?
It's the only way, Spinelli.
But for a while, it looked like Spinelli would never get over this public humiliation. Number 2, the Ashleys rate everyone out of 10. While King Bob may rule with an iron fist and Randall is naturally at the bottom of the food chain, the social hierarchy of the 3rd Street playground is not that strict.
Over the past few days, we Ashleys have been watching you non-Ashleys. We've studied from a distance, of course, your quaint classless ways, and quite frankly, we feel this whole playground could use a little social structure facelift.
In the ratings game, the Ashleys try their best to change that by presenting each of the kids with a number out of 10. These social rankings definitely shake up the playground. Friendships are divided, lines are drawn, and TJ feels his influence slipping away thanks to his pitiful 5.
The Ashleys can't do anything to us. You hear me? They can't do anything.
Attention playground! TJ Detweiler is now in -3. Standing near him is hazardous to your score.
It's especially hard on poor Gus though. He doesn't even make it into the top 10.
I'm a 0.
Gus, what are you doing?
Playing with my peers?
But Gus, I thought we were your peers.
Not anymore. Not since I learned that I have no value.
Luckily, the system comes crashing down eventually. But for those on the receiving end, the low score was difficult to forget in a hurry.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, an elaborate and embarrassing ruse. TJ Detweiler has overcome serious challenges throughout his time in the 4th grade.
If you can pull a prank on me by the end of school tomorrow, the title and this amusing little cap is yours. But if you fail, your punishment will be 1 week as my fanner boy.
So when things go wrong, it can be hard to watch, especially when everyone shames him. In the big prank, we're forced to watch one of the most savage moments of humiliation TJ ever endures.
Sorry, guys. You win, King Bob. I'll never be able to pull a prank on you. You're just too good.
I am, aren't I? But you still have 3 hours. You could fail a good 7 times before then.
After setting himself up as a rival to King Bob, his supposedly failed prank results in disaster. Our hero is tarred and feathered and laughed at in front of the whole school. He's also walked through the playground with full ceremony to take up the role of King Bob's fanner boy.
TJ Detweiler is a living example of the humiliation you will endure. Now then, boy, fan me.
As you wish, sire. Please take a seat.
This brutal treatment is luckily a part of TJ's plan.
Way to go, TJ!
The new prankster prince!
That's your big prank? A whoopee cushion? So simple. It's brilliant!
But it was hard to see the kid getting treated so savagely. Number 9, Miss Finster's new punishment. TJ Detweiler is a very resilient kid.